I've taken over 4,000 people to see black-footed albatrosses off Oregon. Even after leading more than 160 pelagic trips off Oregon from 1994 to 2013, I still get thrilled by the rare seabird possibilities and scenic adventures that few people get to see. This video takes you aboard for a front row seat to that incredible and rarely seen world. Are you ready to see what lies beyond the shore? This is a black-footed albatross, a magnificent seabird with a 7-foot wingspan. On a special guided offshore boat tour, a pelagic trip, this graceful giant is a common and unforgettable sight. In this video, you'll discover 27 must-see birds of Oregon's pelagic or offshore ocean waters. But these trips offer more than birds. An incredible array of marine life can surprise and delight any adventurous birder. We won't begin with the albatross, though. Our journey starts with nearshore species, then ventures farther offshore to the shelf, the slope, and finally the deep ocean, unveiling the rich diversity you're likely to see as your pelagic trip unfolds. Join us as we journey from the rugged coastline to the vast open ocean, spotting highlights along the way and glimpsing the wild heart of the Pacific. From the harbor, and within just 2 or 3 miles of shore, you'll see Pigeon Guillemots brightening Oregon's rocky coastal waters. Their striking white wing flashes shine in graceful flight above the waves, while underwater they dive swiftly after small fish near reefs. These agile seabirds navigate the rugged nearshore habitat with ease, enriching the wildlife tapestry as you begin your pelagic journey. Easily spotted compared to more secretive ocean birds, guillemots signal the transition from land to the open sea. Watching their swift movements and vivid colors transports you into the vibrant world of Oregon's coastal ecosystems. As your boat drifts farther offshore, you'll leave these nearshore specialists behind, venturing towards birds of the deep ocean. Visible from the harbor and nearshore waters to about 10 miles offshore, common Murres are among Oregon's most abundant seabirds. These black and white birds nest in large colonies on rocky headlands and offshore islands, but you'll mostly see them on the ocean during a pelagic trip. In fall, you may hear the high-pitched whistle of smaller chicks swimming after their fathers, who respond with hoarse wails. Common Murres plunge deep underwater after schooling fish like capelin and anchovy, frequently resting in dense flocks at the surface. Their presence on the water signals a healthy marine ecosystem. Their presence connects you directly to Oregon's rich ocean life. A favorite target for visiting birders, marbled murrelets are tiny, usually seen in pairs near Oregon's shore. During fall pelagic trips, they wear sleek black and white plumage instead of their mottled summer colors. These fast, agile divers feed by plunging to the sandy sea bottom, hunting slender sand lance just beyond the breakers in waters shared with gray whales. They are within about 2 to 3 miles of shore, often seen over sandy substrates and gentle surf zones. Spotting these elusive birds links you to a hidden coastal ecosystem where ocean life and ancient forests far inland connect in a remarkable dance. That's because these birds nest in moss-covered old-growth forest. Watching their low, duck-like flight over the waves brings you close to Oregon's rich nearshore marine world. Nearshore waters extend about 5 miles from shore and are well mixed by wind and waves, creating a lively surface where diving birds hunt. The continental shelf stretches from 5 to 20 miles offshore, with gently sloping seafloor rich in plankton and fish. Beyond the shelf, from 20 to 40 miles out, the continental slope drops steeply, with underwater hills and valleys causing upwellings. These vertical currents bring nutrient-rich waters to the surface, fueling abundant fish and squid that seabirds feed on. Starting around 60 miles offshore, the deep abyssal plain begins, hosting few seabirds, except a few specialized species. This gradient, from turbulent nearshore waters to deep ocean zones, shapes the distribution and diversity of pelagic birds on an Oregon ocean trip. Sooty Shearwaters arrive off Oregon from vast southern hemisphere breeding grounds, both Chile and New Zealand. Their sooty gray plumage and long, narrow wings carry them with a few snappy wing beats, followed by long, stiff-winged glides low over the water. Starting about 5 miles offshore, these are the first true tube-nosed seabirds you'll see on a pelagic trip as the excitement of the day ramps up. They feed by seizing prey near the surface and often follow fishing boats for scraps. Renowned for incredible migrations spanning thousands of miles annually, these shearwaters embody pelagic endurance. Large flocks create captivating aerial displays, offering a glimpse into a global oceanic journey. Watching their dynamic flight reveals the vast, wild ocean realm that stretches beyond Oregon's shores. Fierce parasitic Jaegers patrol Oregon's shelf waters with remarkable speed and agility. They harass other seabirds relentlessly to steal fish mid-flight, earning their reputation as skilled ocean pirates. Their slim bodies and pointed wings make them exceptional aerialists, performing swift maneuvers above the waves. Nesting in the Arctic tundra, they migrate extensively along Oregon's coast during fall and winter. Of the Jaegers, parasitic is most likely to be seen from shore, making it a familiar and thrilling sight for birders. Their persistent piracy adds drama and excitement to any pelagic trip. Watching these cunning predators emphasizes the competitive nature of marine food webs. Petite shorebirds, red-necked phalaropes, are a pelagic highlight often seen in migratory flights along Oregon's continental shelf. Unlike their energetic spinning behavior in Arctic breeding grounds, at sea they glide low and may rest on water breaks and among kelp lines. Brightly colored juveniles appear in late fall after adults molt into duller non-breeding plumage. Their remarkable migration carries them from Arctic breeding grounds down to offshore wintering areas off South America. As highly pelagic migrants, they serve as key oceanic indicators of ecosystem health. Observing their distinctive flight and colorful plumage connects birders with vast migratory pathways over the open ocean. Oregon's pelagic trips depend heavily on sea conditions. High waves and strong winds can make crossing the bar hazardous, leading to cancellations, especially in winter and spring. The best chances for smooth water and successful trips occur in summer and fall, though even then high winds may cancel outings. Prime birding peaks are in late August, early October, and early May, when migratory activity is high and pelagic species abound. Winter seas are often rough, but calm days bring opportunities to see winter specialties rarely spotted at other times. Understanding seasonal weather patterns helps birders plan for the best pelagic experience along Oregon's dynamic coast. Cassin's auklets are small, social seabirds often found in large flocks, signaling healthy ocean productivity. Flying low off the water, they resemble flying potatoes with rapid, whirring wing beats. These tiny auklets dive and scoop zooplankton from the sea surface in Oregon's coastal waters. When a boat approaches, they usually dive or fly away, adding to their elusiveness. They nest in burrows on offshore islands, returning under cover of darkness to avoid predators. Most common, 8 to 15 miles offshore, birders often spot distant Cassin's auklets several times before catching a good close view, making that rare moment a special delight. Common terns bring elegance to Oregon's coastal skies with their slender bodies and sharp bills. They grace nearshore waters, especially during spring and fall migrations. Characteristic plunge dives catch small fish close to shore, showcasing aerial acrobatics and precision hunting. Though less common in Oregon than farther south, their presence signals healthy fish populations near the coast. Common terns' migratory journeys bridge hemispheres, connecting distant ecosystems along their route. Their beauty and agility makes them a favorite visitor among Oregon's nearshore pelagic birds. Ancient murrelets are small seabirds with striking black and white plumage and white underwings. Their flight is slow, with rapid, whirring wing beats. When landing on the water, they abruptly stop flying and drop in with an ungraceful splash. Often seen synchronously diving together in small flocks, they frequent Oregon's pelagic waters from late fall through early spring. They do not breed in Oregon, but nest on nearby coastal islands and cliffs in Canada, relatively close compared to other seabirds with more distant breeding grounds. Their winter presence off Oregon offers birders a rare glimpse of this elusive alcid. Spotting an ancient murrelet unveils the mystery of seabird life in Oregon's colder offshore seas. Oregon's offshore waters are alive with diverse marine life beyond seabirds. Commonly spotted are Dall's porpoises, Pacific white-sided dolphins, ocean sunfish, northern fur seals, several shark species, and vibrant jellyfish. Among the most exciting and regular offshore visitors are humpback whales, known for spectacular breaches and haunting underwater songs. Their presence signals rich feeding grounds supporting birds and mammals alike. For birders, sightings of whales alongside soaring seabirds elevate the pelagic experience, showcasing the ocean's wild and interconnected marine community. Pink-footed shearwaters are large, white-bellied shearwaters that forage primarily on squid along Oregon's shelf waters from spring through fall. They breed on a few islands off southern Chile, but migrate north each summer along the Pacific coast. Their slow, labored wing beats and long glides distinguish them from the smaller shearwaters. Though rarely seen from shore, pink-footed shearwaters are a common and distinctive pelagic target in Oregon's shelf waters, prized for their impressive size and status as true ocean travelers. Encountering this species offers birders the thrill of seeing a seabird that epitomizes endurance and deep-sea navigation. Named for the horn-like projection appearing on breeding bills, Rhinoceros Auklets nest in burrows along Oregon's rocky headlands. They forage far offshore, diving deep for fish and squid. These auklets have been described as flying footballs due to their stout bodies and rapid wing beats, and look like anvils when swimming on water because of their long bill and flat heads. They connect terrestrial and marine environments through their breeding and feeding habits. Observing them reveals complex life cycles relying on fragile ocean conditions. Their resilience and unusual behaviors make them a must-see pelagic species. The Pomarine Jaeger is the pelagic ocean's relentless thief. During fall migrations offshore, they aggressively chase gulls and terns to steal prey mid-flight. Larger than other Jaegers, they exhibit impressive endurance circling Oregon's continental shelf. Their bold feeding tactics dominate pelagic food webs and add drama to seabird watching. Beyond theft, they hunt fish and squid directly, showing versatile foraging. Observing their long flights and aerial battles is thrilling. Their audacity and mastery of the ocean's bounty make Pomarine Jaegers must-see pelagic marauders. Human activity shapes Oregon's coastal and pelagic environments. Commercial fishing vessels cross offshore waters with nets that attract thousands of scavenging shearwaters, fulmars, albatross, and gulls. These gatherings are major targets for pelagic trips if they are within 30 miles of port. Responsible and sustainable fishing practices are important for seabirds, which arrive along the Oregon coast from nesting colonies as far away as the Arctic, Hawaii, Chile, New Zealand, and even Antarctica. Birders and ocean lovers help advocate for these practices to protect seabirds. Their efforts ensure future generations can enjoy Oregon's remarkable seabird diversity and vibrant pelagic life. Tufted puffins brighten Oregon's isolated nearshore islands and headlands where they nest, but are rarely seen from land, except at Haystack Rock at Cannon Beach. Even on pelagic trips, tufted puffin sightings are unusual and highly exciting, as boats can often circle a swimming bird far from shore. Their bright, clown-like orange bills and yellow head tufts thrill pelagic birders, though duller immatures and non-breeding birds are more common than the brilliant breeders. They are expert divers, using wings and feet to chase fish deep underwater. The puffin's spring arrival marks renewal along the Oregon coast. Their bold colors and underwater skill make them true pelagic treasures, highly popular with birders and the general public alike. Black-legged kittiwakes visit Oregon's nearshore and shelf waters mostly from late fall through spring. These delicate gulls have graceful, buoyant flight. Juveniles have a distinctive black bar across the upper wing. They nest in dense colonies on cliffs in Alaska and the Aleutians. Kittiwakes off Oregon often occur singly or in small groups, but irregularly form larger flocks. They feed at sea on small fish and plankton, sometimes near fishing vessels. Their arrival signals changes in ocean productivity and offers a seasonal highlight for pelagic birders. Their elegant movements and numbers make them a pelagic must-see. The fork-tailed Storm-Petrel is a small, silvery gray seabird that reaches the southern edge of its range along the Oregon coast. They are known for their swallow-like flight, characterized by quick, buoyant wing beats interspersed with short glides. A distinctive and exciting behavior for birders is their surface foot pattering, where they seem to walk on the water while picking small food items like plankton and tiny fish from the surface. Fork-tailed storm-petrels avoid flying to their nests during daylight, returning only at night to protected burrows or rock crevices on coastal islands. They remain out at sea well past the hours most predatory gulls are active, adding to their elusive nature. This species is a thrilling, delicate highlight for Oregon pelagic birders. Pelagic trips off Oregon are typically aboard sturdy charter fishing vessels about 50 feet long, designed to handle coastal waters comfortably. These trips usually host about 25 participants and 5 expert guides who help spot and identify birds throughout the day. Come prepared with waterproof binoculars and a camera with a good telephoto lens. The cold, year-round sea temperatures and damp ocean air calls for hats and waterproof rain gear to protect against wind and wave spray, even in summer. Food is not provided, so pack a brown bag with plenty to drink and snacks. Many experience motion sickness, so plan accordingly, but don't let it keep you from this unforgettable experience. To keep your day from being ruined, always have alternate land-based birding plans ready in case weather cancels the trip. Find Oregon pelagic trip provider contacts in the description. At about 20 miles offshore, where the ocean slope waters begin, pelagic birders encounter over a dozen fascinating seabird species nearly impossible to see from shore. Now we're into the exciting birds most participants have never seen. Northern fulmars glide stiff-winged over these slope waters, guided by their extraordinary sense of smell to locate prey. They feed day and night on squid, fish, and carrion, dominating slope feeding grounds. Frequently attending fishing boats, they are often chum to our pelagic birding boat and can be seen feeding eagerly on scraps like beef fat and popcorn brought by the leaders. They tolerate harsh oceanic storms and can cover incredible distances. Their unique feeding strategies and oceanic presence make them essential slopewater specialists. Watching their effortless glides against stormy backdrops is a striking example of adaptation to the ocean environment. Albatross coming in! This is the bird people really want to see. The black-footed albatross is a true master of dynamic soaring, effortlessly cruising vast expanses of Oregon's offshore waters. With wingspans up to 7 feet, these giants scan waves for squid and flying fish eggs. In spring, adults travel to the west coast to feed primarily on fish, which they carry back to their chicks, nesting on remote coral atolls such as Laysan and Midway Islands in Hawaii. Their presence off Oregon symbolizes open ocean health and resilience. Their skillful flight and wide-ranging habits perfectly display ocean adaptability. Observing their calm, graceful glides and social interactions among albatrosses is unforgettable. Their endurance and mastery over the ocean earn them top must-see status among pelagic birds. Buller's shearwaters enter Oregon waters infrequently in fall and are noted for their graceful flight, characterized by brief flapping followed by long, elegant glides. They sweep steeply upward, then bank smoothly downward, with wings held forward at the wrist, accented by their long tail, giving them a particularly refined appearance. Occasionally, small flocks engaged in synchronized flying, flapping deeply and gliding in unison with a languid, coordinated grace rarely seen in pelagic birds. Breeding in New Zealand, these shearwaters undertake impressive, long foraging flights far into northern Pacific seas. Their dynamic flight style complements the diversity of Oregon's pelagic avifauna, and their presence links Oregon's offshore waters directly to ecological systems of the southern hemisphere. The Laysan albatross visits Oregon's slope waters mainly in winter and spring. Its mostly white body and dark upper wings contrasts with striking white underwings smudged with black marks that make it distinctive in flight over the deep ocean waters. Laysan albatrosses undertake epic migrations connecting remote Pacific islands, primarily nesting on Midway and Laysan Islands in Hawaii, alongside black-footed albatrosses. They forage far north in waters including Alaska. Small, new nesting colonies on Mexican islands have led to increased sightings year-round in Oregon waters. Their soaring flight and pelagic rarity make them prized for birders. Their wide-ranging migratory journeys highlight the vast scale and interconnectedness of Pacific pelagic ecosystems. Sabin's gulls grace Oregon's nearshore and offshore waters in spring and fall, flying with an elegant, tern-like style. Their wings display a distinctive pattern of bold white triangles framed by black outer primaries and a pale gray back and inner wing, creating a striking contrast in flight. The tail is slightly forked. Juveniles in fall have brownish-gray backs and a black terminal tail band. These gulls forage dynamically on small fish and invertebrates amid coastal currents. Their migration between Arctic breeding sites and southern oceans links hemispheres, symbolizing seasonal renewal and oceanic interconnection. Birders prize their patterned wings and graceful presence, making their seasonal appearance a pelagic must-see. Flesh-footed shearwaters visit Oregon's offshore slope mainly in fall. Subtle and challenging to pick out, they are usually identified by the skilled eyes of experienced leaders on board. These shearwaters have flesh-toned feet and large pale bills, but their overall chocolate-brown plumage closely resembles the more abundant sooty shearwaters. Often found trailing behind fishing trawlers, they exhibit powerful and steady flight with slow, deep wing beats and graceful glides. Their preference for deep-sea fish and squid, combined with their rarity, makes spotting this species a rewarding highlight for discerning pelagic birders. The South Polar skua, roughly the size of a red-tailed hawk, streaks over Oregon's offshore waters with powerful, deliberate wing beats. This fierce predator is well known for boldly pirating food by stealing fish and even preying on seabirds as large as pink-footed shearwaters. Seen off Oregon mainly in October during their autumn migration, they command the pelagic skies with their large barrel-shaped bodies and direct, forceful flight. Globally rare, with only about 5,000 to 10,000 breeding pairs nesting on Antarctica's shores, these skuas follow a vast Pacific-wide migration. Watching one wing powerfully pass near the boat offers a thrilling glimpse into the raw drama of oceanic life, making them a must-see predator of the pelagic realm. Far beyond the productive coastal shelf, more than 50 miles offshore, lies the deep pelagic zone, a realm where only a handful of bird species are regularly found. Leach's storm-petrels are a signature species of this habitat. Millions breed in burrows on Oregon's offshore rocks and headlands, yet during the day, far offshore, their small fluttering forms and dark plumage make sightings rare and prized. These tiny seabirds associate strongly with deep water foraging areas. Their restless, fluttering flight and distant presence inspire wonder and awe at these tiny birds so far out to sea, rewarding patient birders with a unique glimpse into pelagic life. Distinguished by extravagant tail streamers on adults, long-tailed Jaegers display dramatic aerial agility. These rare Oregon visitors, most often encountered in late August, inhabit slope and far offshore waters during migration. They skillfully combine piracy with direct hunting, frequently stealing prey from smaller seabirds, notably Arctic terns. Their delicate form and swift turns contrast with their aggressive feeding behavior. Their rarity and striking flight style make them prized encounters on pelagic trips. Long-tailed Jaegers fascinate with elegance and ocean mastery, securing their place as pelagic must-sees. Red Phalaropes are captivating pelagic birds often seen offshore during migration, occasionally nearshore or blown inland after storms. Most sightings are of their non-breeding gray and white plumage, as the vivid red breeding colors appear mainly on rare May pelagic trips. They cruise far offshore, likely to avoid predation by gulls, Jaegers, and skuas near shore, and winter in pelagic waters off the coasts from northern California south through Peru and Chile. Linking Arctic tundra breeding grounds with South American oceanic habitats, red Phalaropes are among the few shorebirds adapted to life far out to sea. Their presence far offshore inspires wonder and awe, bobbing on the waves in the most turbulent of storm-driven waters, making them essential pelagic must-sees. Arctic terns hold the record for the longest migration of any bird, flying annually between Arctic breeding grounds and Antarctic wintering areas, covering up to 50,000 miles. In Oregon, they are seen primarily during spring and fall migrations, often 50 miles or more offshore, rewarding pelagic birders who venture far from shore with a rare and thrilling sight. Their slender bodies and deeply forked tails make them masters of agile aerial fishing, darting, hovering, and plunging to catch prey with unmatched skill. Their offshore migration keeps them mostly safe from predators, though long-tailed Jaegers will sometimes harass them to steal food or prey on them. Spotting Arctic terns far from land offers an unforgettable connection to one of nature's grandest oceanic journeys and fragile global ecosystems. Scripps' Murrelets. We didn't know pairs of these elusive birds were even out here, all alone in the vast ocean. It wasn't until we started regular pelagic trips extending well offshore, sometimes 12 hours or more, that their secretive presence became clear. Found off Oregon in summer, these rare murrelets range north from Southern California, favoring deep, warmer waters beyond the continental shelf. Pelagic birders prize their rarity and stealth, rewarding those willing to venture far from shore. Spotting Scripps' murrelets offshore is an exciting glimpse into some of the Pacific's most pristine ocean wilderness, connecting Oregon to remote, wild seas rarely touched by humans. Thank you for exploring Oregon's pelagic birds with me. What species do you most want to see, and why? Have you been out before? What part of the trip was most memorable to you? Thank you so much for watching.